My doctor nearly killed me. It sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But it's true. He prescribed me 30 milligrams of a cholesterol drug. Within weeks, I developed back pain so intense it stole my sleep. My arms throbbed from inflamed shoulders. My energy disappeared. After 18 months, I was pre-diabetic with sky-high blood pressure and a liver that was starting to fail. All this while I was faithfully following his instructions. One day, I asked him a simple question. Would milk thistle help my liver? He dismissed it without even looking up. That was the moment I walked away. I decided to take full control of my health. I researched, I studied, I listened to my body. I stopped relying on people who had never truly learned nutrition. And slowly, I rebuilt myself. Today, I'm thriving. I'm in my 70s. I follow a carnivore diet. I take vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium daily. And I would never take supplement advice from someone who never studied how nutrients work inside the body. Why am I telling you this? Because there are 11 common mistakes that people, especially people our age, make with supplements. Some of these mistakes might be stopping your vitamins from working. Some might be wasting your money. And one in particular might be the reason your vitamin D is doing absolutely nothing for you, even if you're taking it daily. Sound familiar? Maybe you've been taking pills for years and still feel tired. Maybe you've followed all the right steps but haven't seen results. Well, today we're going to break it down, one mistake at a time. I'm not just going to list problems, I'll show you how to fix them. Because the right nutrients, used the right way, can change your life. Not just your lab numbers, but how you feel when you wake up in the morning, how clearly you think, how long you live, and how well. So before we get into it, let me ask you this. Are you sure your supplements are helping you? Or could they be hurting you instead? Let's find out. Let's start with the basics. When and how you take your supplements. You might not think the timing matters that much. After all, a vitamin is a vitamin, right? But the truth is, when you take your supplements can determine whether your body uses them or flushes them out completely. The first mistake? Taking your supplements at the wrong time of day. Some people like to take everything in the morning. Others split them between meals. But here's the truth. Certain vitamins and minerals have ideal windows for absorption. Take vitamin D, for example. It's fat-soluble, which means it's best absorbed with a meal that contains some fat. Not only that, but some people actually sleep better when they take vitamin D in the evening, while others feel more energized if they take it in the morning. It depends on your body, but you should always take it with food, never on an empty stomach, or consider iron. If you're taking an iron supplement, it should be on an empty stomach with a little vitamin C, like orange juice, to help with absorption. But pairing it with coffee or a calcium-rich meal, that shuts the door on absorption. Your body simply can't pull it in. Mistake number 2, swallowing too many pills at once. We've all been guilty of this, lining up the bottles, knocking back a handful of pills, and washing them down with a gulp of water. But your body doesn't absorb everything in bulk like that. In fact, piling on a dozen supplements at once can overwhelm your system and reduce how well they work, not to mention the physical risks. I once made the mistake of taking a handful of beetroot capsules, washed down with 12 ounces of olive oil, for a liver flush. It felt like a heart attack. The pills got lodged in my esophagus. I laid there, curled up, sweating, thinking it might be the end. Lesson learned. Take your time. Use water. Space them out. The third common mistake, taking calcium before a meal. Why is that a problem? Because calcium neutralizes stomach acid, and stomach acid is critical for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. When you suppress that acid, you make it harder for your body to digest protein, release enzymes, or absorb minerals like iron or zinc. So if you're taking calcium, do it after meals or far away from them. Instead of thinking, I took my vitamins today, so I'm good, Think about how your body actually uses what you give it. Is the timing right? Is your stomach ready to absorb it? Are you combining it with the right foods or the wrong ones? Because instead of just taking supplements and hoping for the best, you can start using them strategically. When you do, something changes. The fog lifts, the energy returns, and your body starts to feel like it's finally working with you again, not against you. And here's the thing. If your vitamins aren't doing anything, it might not be the vitamin. It might just be when and how you're taking it. Let's keep going. The next group of mistakes, they're about what's inside the bottle and whether it's actually helping you or just draining your wallet. Let's talk about what's actually inside those bottles sitting in your kitchen cabinet. Because here's the truth. Not all supplements are created equal. Some can help you feel sharper, stronger, and more alive. Others, they're little more than colorful powders packed into pills, offering your body nothing but empty promises. Mistake number 4, taking doses that are too low to actually work. Have you ever looked at a supplement label and seen something like 100% of the recommended daily allowance? Sounds good, right? But here's the problem. Most RDAs were set decades ago, just enough to prevent outright deficiency diseases like scurvy or rickets. They weren't designed to help your body thrive. They weren't based on modern health challenges, aging bodies, or nutrient-depleting lifestyles. Take vitamin D, for example. The RDA is around 600 IU, but for real immune support, better energy, and stronger bones, most experts now recommend at least 2,000, 4,000 IU per day, with many people, especially those over 60, needing even more. Some research supports up to 10,000 IU per day for therapeutic purposes, especially if you have trouble converting or absorbing D3 due to genetics. Then there's vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. The RDA is less than 2 milligrams a day, but if you're tired, foggy, or dealing with blood sugar swings, that's not going to touch the problem. Therapeutic doses for B1 are often 50, 100, even 250 milligrams per day, and people notice the difference fast. Mistake number 5, buying cheap synthetic vitamins. Now I get it. You're at the store, you see a big bottle for $5 that says complete multivitamin. Seems like a bargain. But flip the label over and look closely. You'll see things like calcium carbonate, same ingredient used in cement, or cyanocobalamin, a low-grade form of B12 that some people can't even convert properly, or synthetic beta-carotene, which has actually been linked to increased cancer risk in smokers. These aren't nutrients. These are industrial byproducts dressed up to look like nutrition. And here's the kicker. Many of the biggest supplement brands are owned by pharmaceutical companies or processed food giants. Their goal? Profit, not your health. So they use cheap fillers, artificial colors, and the lowest grade raw materials they can legally get away with. Mistake number 6, ignoring how supplements interact with each other. Did you know that taking high doses of vitamin D without magnesium can make it harder for your body to use that D? Magnesium is needed for every step of vitamin D metabolism. Without it, your D levels might look good on paper, but the vitamin isn't actually active in your body. Or take zinc. It's great for the immune system. But if you take too much zinc without balancing it with copper, you could develop a deficiency, and that opens the door to anemia, fatigue, and even immune dysfunction. The same goes for potassium and sodium, or iron and calcium. These minerals compete for absorption and can throw each other off balance if you're not careful, which leads us to mistake number 7. And this one might be the most dangerous of all, taking a single nutrient long-term without balancing it. Let's say you hear zinc helps with colds, so you take it every day for months, but you don't take copper. Now your immune system's weaker than before. Or you take calcium because you're worried about your bones. But without magnesium or vitamin K2, that calcium might deposit in your arteries instead. Instead of healing, you're setting yourself up for new problems. So what can you do instead? Choose high-quality supplements from trusted sources. Use whole food-based or third-party tested brands whenever possible. Understand the why behind what you're taking, not just the what. And always remember, the right combinations in the right dosages, taken at the right time, can make all the difference. You're not just swallowing pills, you're building a foundation. And now that you know what to avoid, let's move on to the next set of mistakes, where most people fail to connect the dots between their supplements and their lifestyle. But before we get there, let me ask you something that might sound surprising. What if the vitamin D you take every day is completely useless because you've forgotten one small detail? You've been taking your vitamin D faithfully, day after day, maybe even for years. But here's the question no one's asked you. Is your body actually using it? Because without magnesium, your vitamin D can't be activated. Without K2, it can't be directed to the right places. And without the right dosage, timing, or supporting nutrients, well, it might just be passing through your system, leaving you no better off than before. Let's look at the rest of the mistakes, especially the ones that tie directly to your lifestyle, your doctors, and the beliefs you've been taught for decades. Some supplement mistakes aren't about what's in the bottle. They're about what's going on around it, your diet, your medications, your beliefs, and your mindset. Mistake number 8, trusting the wrong advice. Too many people, especially older adults, still take health advice from doctors who haven't studied nutrition since med school, or maybe never at all. One woman wrote, "My doctor told me I didn't need vitamin K for my osteopenia." Another said, "I asked about milk thistle for my liver and was completely dismissed." Here's the hard truth. Most medical schools don't teach real nutrition. They teach drug protocols, not nutrient therapy. Doctors memorize, test, and move on. They learn how to manage symptoms, not how to restore function through food or supplements. So when your doctor says those vitamins don't do anything, ask yourself this. When was the last time they studied biochemistry outside of a textbook? Mistake number 9, expecting supplements to fix a bad diet. You can't out-supplement poor choices. If your day starts with toast and coffee, includes lunch from a drive-thru, and ends with a frozen dinner, then no amount of pills will undo that damage. Take protein, for example. Many older adults are chronically under-eating protein, especially at breakfast. That alone leads to fatigue, poor muscle maintenance, blood sugar crashes, and it makes your body less responsive to the nutrients you do take. Then there's sugar. Refined carbs burn through your B vitamins, deplete magnesium, and disrupt gut health. You're left chasing your tail, taking vitamins to fix a problem your meals are causing. Instead of trying to supplement around a bad diet, start by simplifying real food, fewer ingredients, more protein, healthy fats, fewer spikes and crashes. Supplements support you. They don't replace a good foundation. Mistake number 10, ignoring your unique needs, especially if you're vegan or vegetarian. If you don't eat animal products, you're likely missing vitamin B12, not found in plant foods at all, vitamin D3, usually sourced from lanolin or fish. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, are animal-based. Iron, zinc, calcium, iodine, and more a plant-based diet can work, but only if it's planned intentionally and backed by smart supplementation. One study showed that up to 80% of vegans had low B12 levels without supplementation. That's not just a blood test number. B12 deficiency can lead to fatigue, memory loss, mood issues, even nerve damage. The same goes for D3. If you live far from the equator, get little sun, or have darker skin, your body may produce far less vitamin D from sunlight than you think. A supplement isn't optional, it's essential. Mistake number 11, not adjusting for your own biology. Did you know that certain people have genetic variations that make it harder to absorb or activate vitamins like D, B12, or folate? That means even if you're taking the right supplement, your body may not be using it efficiently, or maybe your stomach acid is too low, a common issue after age 60. That alone can prevent you from absorbing key nutrients like iron, calcium, magnesium, or B12. If you're bloated after meals, tired after eating, or constantly low on energy, this could be why. What's the solution? Get your blood levels checked, not just once, but regularly. Pay attention to your symptoms. They're your body's dashboard. Consider genetic testing or a functional medicine consult. If you're still not seeing progress, you are not average. So why should your supplement routine be? Instead of copying someone else's stack or guessing, learn what your body needs, what it can absorb, and what it's still missing. Because supplements aren't magic. But when used with wisdom, they can unlock a version of you that feels alive again, clearer, calmer, and stronger. We've covered the most common mistakes. Now let's pull it all together, because there's one vitamin that touches almost every system in your body, and most people still don't know how to use it right. You've just learned the 11 most common mistakes people make when taking supplements. Maybe you've made a few of them. Maybe you've made all of them. That's okay. The important thing is this. Now you know. Now you know that timing matters, that quality matters, that combining the right nutrients at the right time in the right way can completely change how your body responds. You know that vitamin D isn't just a vitamin, it's a hormone. And without magnesium, K2, and daily consistency, it can't do its job. You know that supplements aren't a shortcut for a poor diet or an excuse to keep eating sugar and skipping protein. You know that not every pill on the shelf is worth your money, and that the shiny label doesn't mean it works. But more than anything, you know this. You're not powerless. You don't have to accept fatigue as part of aging. You don't have to live at the mercy of prescriptions and vague diagnoses. You can ask better questions. You can learn. You can choose. You can heal. If one woman can recover from liver damage, inflammation, and prediabetes by learning how supplements truly work, so can you. If one mother can reverse her child's chronic illness just by checking nutrient levels, so can you. And if one man, maybe like you, sitting there watching this, feels a little more hopeful, a little more equipped, and a lot more in control, that's what this was all about. Now, one last thing. And if this helped you in any way, there's one more thing you need to see. I sat down with Dr. Bruce Hollis, one of the world's top researchers in vitamin D. In that video, we go deep into the science, the real peer-reviewed studies on how vitamin D affects your immune system, bones, heart, even your brain. It'll completely shift how you think about this one nutrient. You'll understand why the old advice about 600 IU a day is outdated and what you actually need based on your age, your genes, and your lifestyle. So if you're serious about your health, don't stop here. Click that video now and take the next step toward real, lasting change.